90% of chicken farmers are looking for alternative chicken feed because of high price of commercial feed. Well, on today's video, I want to tell you how I almost lost all my chicken because of alternative chicken feed. So all you need to do is do yourself a favor, watch this video to the very end so that you will be able to learn from this my story, so that you won't make the same mistake again. Now, if you watched my previous video that I told you how I almost quit my poultry farming, that was because I ran out of money that I was using to buy this chicken they are feeding. So as of that time, I was looking for an alternative chicken feed because I have to feed this chicken and I don't have money any longer. I have to look for alternative chicken feed. This was what happened. So I discovered rice yeast. Then I started mixing that rice yeast with their feed. I started mixing both the rice yeast and their feed together, and I was feeding it to this my chicken. Then weeks later, I discovered that this my chicken have started losing weight. All of a sudden, they started being depressed. So I was like, what is happening to this my chicken? Like, before I realized that it was that rice yeast that I was using for them. That rice yeast, it doesn't have enough nutrients required for the chicken. This chicken, they ran into malnutrition, and I lost around 20 chicken. I don't have any option than to stop giving them that rice yeast. I started giving them only commercial feed. And what is malnutrition? Malnutrition is a state whereby this chicken run out of nutrients because of being deprived of vitamins, minerals and other nutrients it needs to maintain healthy tissues and organ function. So I stopped feeding this chicken the chicken feed. So I stopped feeding it to them, and I continued feeding them only commercial feed, which they started gaining back their nutrients and their vitamin. So this made my second batch of chicken to start laying lately around their 24 weeks of age. That was around their 6 months. They started laying lately because of that malnutrition and that chicken feed I was using for them, that rice yeast. It made that chicken to lay egg very late. So after the whole incident, I didn't learn my lesson. The time they started laying egg around that their 24 weeks of age, the time all of them have started laying eggs, I decided to try that alternative feed again. That was the rice yeast. I tried mixing it with their layers mash, which I started giving them that alternative chicken feed again, and in weeks later they started losing weight and also started reducing in their production, whereby the chicken have started reducing in production because of malnutrition again. And I discovered it earlier, and I quitted that rice yeast. I quitted it final. Like, I stopped giving them that rice yeast. I now continued with only layers mash. And remember, whenever this chicken drop in production, definitely it is always hard for them to pick up again with the production. So they have to consume a lot more feed to regain their weight in order to regain their production. Now, my main aim of making this video is to teach you that it is not every alternative chicken feed you see out there is an alternative. So be mindful of what you feed your chicken to avoid killing them. because you know this chicken, whenever they consume anything that will affect their system, you have high chance of losing your chicken. So always be mindful of what you feed to this your chicken. And the same thing is applicable to all these cheap chicken feed that you are seeing out there. You know, in this business, it is the quality of the feed you give to your chicken that will determine the profit you will make. For an instance, if you are to feed 100 layers chicken at 15,000, the profit will be equivalent to 15,000. And if you are to feed 100 layers chicken at 10,000, that is cheap chicken feed, the profit will be equivalent to 10,000. So it is the input that will determine the profit, the quality of the feed, and the management also, that will determine the profit you will be making in this project. Now I have an alternative chicken feed which almost everyone here knows about, and I'm going to be experimenting the alternative chicken feed in my farm. I'll be making a video on the profits and how I feed them to know if it is worth it. So if you want to see the video, all you will need to do is subscribe on this channel. Subscription is free, just so that you will be notified when I upload the video about the experiment, and also when I upload other videos that I will be teaching you guys how I run this my farm. So thank you for watching. My name is Collins Booker, and this is my farm. See you in another episode.